Let us solve one more question on node analysis. We have a circuit. We have to calculate the voltage at each node of this circuit. So this is our circuit, and our procedure is, first of all, mark 0 voltage, assign 0 voltage to the reference node. So this will be our reference node, and its voltage will be 0. That means this point, this point, this point, this point, and this point together is the reference node, and it will be having a voltage 0. Now identify the multiple nodes. So this is one node, so let its voltage be V1. So this is the second node, that is V2, and third node is this one, and V3. So after assigning the node voltages, so we have identified 3 nodes, node 1, node 2, node 3, and assigned voltages to each of the nodes as V1, V2 and V3. So after assigning potentials to the nodes, then mark branch currents, different branch currents, and mark all the currents as leaving from the considered node. So consider node 1, there are 4 branches, so let this current be I1, this is I2, this is I3, and this is I4. Okay. Now for node 2 there are again 4 branches. So for this particular branch the current is given. The value of current as well as current direction is given as it is a current source. So we don't have to mark current in this particular branch. So I1, I2, I3, I4, then this will be I5, this will be I6, and this is I7. Okay. Now for node 3 there are 3 branches. So this will be current I8, this is I9, and this is I10. So we have marked the currents through all the branches. Now consider each of the nodes and apply Kirchhoff's current law. So let us consider node 1 first. So node 1, and applying KCL to node 1. So on applying KCL, we can see there are 4 branches meeting at node 1, and all the branch currents are leaving from the node. According to Kirchhoff's current law, sum of currents entering is equal to sum of currents leaving. So there are no currents leaving from the node. So there are no currents entering into the node. So sum of all the leaving currents will be equal to 0. So that is I1 plus I2 plus I3 plus I4 is equal to 0 for node 1. Now let us write expressions for I1, I2, I3 and I4. See, I1 is the current through this branch, and that will be equal to V1 minus 10 divided by 10. So I1 is V1 minus 10 divided by the resistance of the branch is 10. So V1 is the potential at this point. So we are assuming that V1 is the higher potential. We will always assume, in case of node analysis, we will always assume that the node that we are considering is having the highest potential. So V1 is the highest potential. So current is flowing from higher potential to a lower potential. And for this battery, current I1 is flowing from positive to negative. So minus 10. So V1 minus 10 by 10, and I2. I2 is the current through this branch. So voltage across this branch divided by resistance, that is V1 minus 0 divided by 5. V1 minus 0 divided by 5 plus I3 is equal to V1 minus V2 divided by 3. I3 is V1 minus V2 by 3 plus the current I4, it is the current through this branch, which is again between node 1 and node 2, that is V1 minus V2 divided by 3 is equal to 0. Okay, now let us simplify the equation. I am taking V1 as common outside. So V1 into 1 by 10 plus 1 by 5 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3. V2 minus V2. I am going to take minus V2 common outside. So minus V2 into 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3. So minus V2 into 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3. Okay. And it will be equal to, taking all the right hands, all the constant terms to the right hand side. So here we have minus 10 by 10, that is minus 1. Okay, only minus 1. So on the right hand side it will become plus 1. So now solve the equation. We will get V1 into 1 by 10 plus 1 by 5 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 becomes 0.9667. So 0.9667 V1 minus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 is 0.667. So minus 0.667 V2 is equal to 1. This is our equation number 1. So let us note equation number 1 here. 0.9667 V1 minus 0.667 V2 is equal to 1. So that is our equation number 1. Now consider node 2. Okay. So for node 2, apply KCL. So at node 2, there are 4 branches meeting. So there are 4 branch currents. So currents I5, I6 and I7 are leaving from the node, whereas this current, this 5 ampere current is entering into the node. So sum of currents entering is equal to sum of currents leaving. So that is I5 plus I6 plus I7 will be equal to sum of currents leaving is equal to sum of currents entering, that is 5. So this will become I5. I5 is the current through this branch, that is V2 minus V1 divided by 3. V2 minus V1 by 3 plus I6. I6 is the current through this branch, that is V2 minus V3 divided by 2 plus I7. I7 is the current through this branch, which is again V2 minus V1 divided by 3, because this resistor, 3 ohm resistor, is connected in between node 2 and node 1. So I7 is V2 minus V1 by 3, which is equal to 5. Now let us simplify. Taking V2 common outside, V2 into 1 by 3 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3. Then minus V1 by 3 minus V1 by 3. So minus V1 into 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3. Then V3 minus V3 into 1 by 2 is equal to 5. So this is our second equation. So let us simplify all the terms. V2 into 1 by 3 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 becomes 1.1667 V2 minus V1 into 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 0.667 V1 minus 0.5 V3 is equal to 5, which is our equation number 2. So let us note it down here. Equation number 2 is 1.1667 V2 minus 0.667 V1 minus 0.5 V3 is equal to 5. So this is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. So we have got the equation for both node 1 and node 2. Now let us move on to node 3. Apply KCL to node 3. So consider node 3. There are 3 currents meeting at this node, I8, I9 and I10, and all are leaving from the node. There are no currents entering into the node. So sum of leaving currents equal to 0. I8 plus I9 plus I10 equal to 0. So now write the equation for I8, I9 and I10. So I8 is the current through this branch, V3 minus V2 by 2, plus I9. I9 becomes V3 minus 0 by 1. I10. I10 is the current through this branch, that is V3 minus 0 by 6, which is equal to 0. Now, taking V3 common outside, V3 into 1 by 2 plus 1 plus 1 by 6. Minus V2 into 1 by 2. Is equal to 0. Is equal to 0. So this will be V3 into 1 by 2 plus 1 by 6 becomes 1.667 V3. 1.667 V3 minus 0.5 V2 is equal to 0. So this is our equation number 3. So equation number 3 is 1.667 V3 minus 0.5 V2 is equal to 0. So we have 3 equations and 3 unknowns. Then we can use Cramer's rule for solving the equation. Okay. So for using Cramer's rule, first of all we have to represent these 3 equations in a matrix form. And the first matrix will be the coefficient matrix. Coefficient of V1, V2 and V3 in these 3 equations. So first row will be the coefficient of V1 and V2, V1, V2 and V3 in the first equation. First row is from the first equation. So coefficient of V1 is 0.9667. Coefficient of V2 is minus 0.667, and there is no term containing V3, so coefficient will be 0. Now second row is from the second equation, that is coefficient of V1 is minus 0.667, that of V2 is 1.667, and that of V3 is minus 0.5. And third row from the third equation, coefficient of V1 is 0, coefficient of V2 is minus 0.5, and that of V3 is 1.667. So this is 1.1667. So this is our coefficient matrix into the matrix of unknown voltage. Matrix of unknown voltages V1, V2 and V3 is equal to a constant matrix, that is 1, 5 and 0. So this is our matrix equation. Now we can solve the equations using Cramer's rule. So according to Cramer's rule, the node voltage V1 is equal to delta 1 divided by delta, where delta 1 is the determinant of that matrix, which is obtained by replacing the first column of the coefficient matrix by the constant matrix. So instead of first column of the coefficient matrix, write the voltage matrix, that is 1, 5, 0. Second and third columns as such. So minus 0.667, 1.1667, minus 0.5. Third column 0, minus 0.5 and 1.667. Determinant of this matrix will give the value of delta 1, and delta is the determinant of the original coefficient matrix, that is determinant of 0.9667 minus 0.667, 0 minus 0.667, 1.1667 minus 0.5, 0 minus 0.5, 1.667. So calculate these two determinants and then take the ratio. We'll get the value of V1, and the value of V1 will be 8.08 volt. Okay, so we got V1. Now we have to calculate V2 and V3. So V2 will be delta 2 by delta, and delta 2 is obtained by replacing the second column of the coefficient matrix by the constant matrix. Okay, so first column as such, that is 0.9667, then minus 0.667 and 0, and instead of the second column write the constant matrix, that is 1, 5 and 0, and the third column as such. This is delta 2. Determinant of this matrix will give delta 2, and divided by delta, that is determinant of original resistance matrix, we will get the value of V2, and you will get the value of V2 as 10.22 volt. So this is V2. Now we have to calculate V3, and V3 will be equal to delta 3 divided by delta, and delta 3 is the determinant of that matrix, which is obtained by replacing third column of the coefficient matrix by the constant matrix. So first column and second column as such, that is minus 0.667, 1.1667 and minus 0.5, and instead of the third column write the constant matrix, that is 1, 5 and 0. Determinant of this matrix will give delta 3 divided by determinant of the original coefficient matrix, will give us the value of V3, and value of V3 is 3.06 volt. So thus we have calculated all the node voltages, the voltages at each node V1 and V2, V1, V2 and V3 we have calculated.